So today we talking about marriage. And your boy is not a marriage coach. I'm not a marriage expert, not a relationship expert, none of that. I am just a guy on the internet with a mic. So we're going to hear what this chick has to say. I'm going to let it rip completely. And again, we got two clips. I know I'm going to be on this first clip for a grip because we're going to dissect it. I'm going to let the full thing run first.
This is a message to young men and young men only. I know that when it comes to women and dating, for some reason, y'all don't like to listen to women. You rather listen to a bald bitch spit all over a podcast mic. But take it from somebody that's taking collegiate level sociology classes. You're much better off listening to us than those angry, unloved men that be spitting all over the podcast mics. Okay? It is a fact, a statistical researched fact, that the happiest men are married men in long-term relationships. Do not listen to these men that tell you women have nothing to offer you, that they bring nothing to the table, that they bring no value. There's a reason why they sound so angry and hurt when they get to talking about women on those podcasts. It's because they're lonely. What are the stats? What are the facts? They'll tell you that women only want you for your money. No, women only want them for their money, because obviously if you listen to how they speak about women, money is all they have to offer women. They cannot offer a pleasant personality. They cannot offer love and respect. They can literally only offer women money. So women will only use them for their money. If you are a good man that treats women with respect, they won't care about how much money you have. I can tell you right now, women get with bums every single day. And let me remind y'all that for the last couple of years, you guys have constantly been reminding us that there is a male loneliness epidemic. What else has happened in the last couple of years? A rise in red pill content. A rise in men telling other men to devalue women. A rise in men telling other men that they're better off single, when factually, statistically, y'all being single leads to y'all offing yourselves. Literally. And listening to these type of men really does not help when we also consider the inverse of that fact, that when the happiest women are single, childless women. We aren't killing ourselves behind being single. You guys are, though. And with that, stop listening to men that have their guns loaded already. Misery loves company, and they want you to be just as miserable as they are. They are too disgusting as people to find love, and therefore are telling other men that love isn't worth it. When for a lot of men, a relationship does equate to happiness. It does. Y'all giving up relationships because you don't want to give women the love, value, respect, attention, time that they deserve is literally doing y'all a disservice more than it's doing women a disservice. Because again, factually, we will die happy without, we're more likely to die happy without you. That is the complete opposite for you. And I'm saying this out of love and care. It is love month. Everybody deserves love. Y'all too. But you're not going to get it if you keep listening to these men and adopting these minds. Statistically, they're going to end up offing themselves due to being sick or dying alone in a retirement home because women, caretakers, only again want to be around them for money. Those nurses there for a check, or dying in bed next to a prostitute. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuel.
Did you get all that? Good. So the first thing I want to address and just get out the way before we take this back to the dissection table is that she said this was coming from a place of love. There is so much animosity and venom and a lot of the disrespect that she said, even down to her tone, which I know black women hate. Oh, man, the tone police, oh, he toned the tone. You could go back and listen to it yourself and make your own assessments. You don't have to go with my assessment. She is definitely not coming from a place of love. It sounds more like frustration. And that's not me trying to gaslight or anything like that. However you want to paint it, it's negative. It's negative. So let's go back to some things that she said specifically.
I know that when it comes to women and dating, for some reason, y'all don't like to listen to women. You rather listen to a bald bitch spit all over a podcast mic. But
now, she started early with the insults, just like off-rip bald bitches and stuff like that, insulting podcast hosts, et cetera, as far as men. And it just shows that she came out calling them bald bitches like she's mad. Even if she's not mad, that's negative language. You are name calling. So you could call that whatever you want to call it. But when we get past that petty shit, why aren't men listening to women? And I'll just give you one reason, because we could go down 80,000. I'm going to give you one reason. Y'all don't date from our perspective. You do not experience this shit from our perspective. So it's good to get advice from somebody who is experienced dating as a man. And I'm not even going to unpack that, because the alternative she mentioned is listening to women. Let's see some of the things that women have to say.
I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like I just can't see my nigga like using the umbrella looking like fucking Mary Poppins. Like, I'm sorry, I just cannot. And I feel like it's gonna be so bad when I say it, but I feel like it's sassy.
It's the most a guy should spend on a wedding ring.
I definitely want a huge rock, so I'm gonna guess that it probably costs about at least like
$500,000?
Would y'all talk to a nigga that got a 9 to 5? Like all honesty.
If it was like a corporate job, absolutely. I mean, like he's the boss or the CEO of something.
Or like
The CEO, for sure. If he have to go to work, but it's his company or he's like top up in the company to where he make a lot of money. Yes.
Guys aren't meant to see this many hot bitches.
Back in the olden days, they would see 200 baddies in their whole life. And now
In
it's
their
like...
whole life.
In their whole life. And now it's like they are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have conversations with my guy friends where I need to check them, where I'm like, you need to check yourself. They'll be like, oh, well, her hair wasn't perfect, or she didn't have like veneers, so I just didn't. And I'm like, you are a 4 at best. Like, this is insane. You think that you have access. They're so delusional. They think that
They're
they
so
can...
f***ing delusional.
So let's go down a list of what we just learned listening to women. The first thing is that if you use an umbrella as a man, you are sassy. That's one thing you'll learn if you listen to women. The second thing that you will learn is that if you are planning to get married, you gotta have $500,000 to get a ring for the woman. Like, it's gotta be $500,000. That's what she expects. The next thing is, if you work a 9 to 5, you are not good enough unless you are the CEO of a company or something like that. So you're better off doing something illegal like selling drugs or just becoming a rapper. You, as a man, are a 4. So the woman is allowed to judge her friend for being a 4. A woman is allowed to judge you, but you are not allowed to judge women, especially if you are a 4. They can tell you that you are a 4, but you are not allowed to judge women because you're a 4. So if you listen to women, that's the information that you're going to get. See, this woman is coming from a place of pure hatred. And, the way she started it was saying bald bitches. And then the way she ended it by saying rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, because she tried to insinuate that he died next to a prostitute. There's a lot of hatred in her. So she can only see a lot of the red pill stuff. And this is the thing. If you watch the channel, you've seen me hold different dudes accountable. You've seen that I don't agree with every single thing any guy says. I don't even like Myron. So as far as men, I can get on here and I could admit that men don't always have the best takes. And even myself, there are some takes that I'm like, I could probably take that back. I'm not perfect. That's just me keeping it a whole being with you. But the most ridiculous things that you see said on the internet when it comes to this dating shit are by far by women. And listen, you've heard me say it on here before. If you knew, I'm going to say it to you right now. Black women are not just pioneers. They are just revolutionary with a lot of the worst dating narratives on the internet, as far as 50-50. And the other narrative is you need to provide enough up to a certain point to where you can unlock my femininity and also gain my submission, as where with other women, like, that's not even a narrative that they push, and that's not even how they actually work in real life. In newsflash, even the women who say that, that's not how they actually work. It's just not. But this chick is getting in front of this camera with like a fucking quarter of a face, talking like women get online and just give the best information. They fucking don't. Let's continue.
Take it from somebody that's taking collegiate level sociology classes.
That's just an appeal to authority. It means absolutely fucking nothing.
It is a fact, a statistical researched fact, that the happiest men are married men in long-term relationships.
Now, this is the thing. Statistics are a funny thing. I don't rock with statistics 100%. But let's get into these specific statistics very quickly. I went and Googled them. What she said statistically is correct. But what I was trying to figure out is how they came up with this data. How did you come up with this data? I could not find that. I could not find the root source of this information. And I think I did find it, but they wanted me to create a login. Listen, I am not that invested. But from what I could see, it's survey information. So it's just motherfuckers checking a box. We don't know if the nigga's wife is over his shoulder when he's checking that yes, I'm happy box. We don't know if she looking at his fucking paper before he hand that shit in. And before we get finished with this part, I want to discuss why I don't trust statistics all the way. I'm black. So what you hear all the time is, fucking 3% of the population or whatever it is, 13%, committing 80% of the crime and all of that stuff. So that's statistics that racist white people throw out about black people. And the counter to that is typically 2 points. Number one, context. Your government systemically thrust us into this situation after hundreds of years of slavery. And you guys haven't given us any reparations. And you just say, pick yourselves up by the bootstraps while doing things like redlining us through banks so that we can't get homes in affluent areas and stuff like that, good areas, and pumping crack through government agencies, cocaine, into our neighborhoods. None of this stuff that I'm saying is made up fantasy land conspiracy shit. This is all documented and factual. So context, number one. And number two, when we look at the gross numbers, white people significantly on a gross number scale commit crimes at a much higher number. There are more people, as far as white people, gross, that commit crime than black people. So when you try to paint that picture, 80% of the crime, when we look at the gross numbers for any category, it doesn't really pan out like that. That's why I don't really fuck with statistics all like that. Because I gave you a non-dating example to where it doesn't tell the whole story, the whole context. And even then, that doesn't mean we're the ones committing the most crime. And even if you want to do another one, go and look into the wage gap being debunked between men and women. Go and look into that. And another story that's statistically not told is that, oh yeah, black women are one of the most educated demographics, but they have a tremendous amount of college debt. So that is why I am very weary of statistics in some situations. But I do want to re-highlight that the statistics that she mentioned are correct. I've seen those. They're correct. That's what it's actually as far as the statistics. Like, men in marriages are happier, blah, blah, blah. But from what I've seen, it is just survey based. That's it. How else would you measure happiness? That's the only way you really gonna measure it. We don't know who these samples are being taken from. We don't know the sample size. We don't know none of that. I can't find that information, but I do want to throw a funny statistic at you because, men in marriages are happier than women. The same people who did that study, they determined that men are happier in marriages than women. And when you look into how many marriages end in divorce, it's about 41%. And then when you look at who files most of those divorces, somewhere in the ballpark of 70 to 80% of the divorces filed are by women. Now, we're not going to go back to that, because y'all end up dying and y'all be bald and lonely and dying and committing suicide. We're not going to go back to that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because men who are also divorced or widowed also fall under that category as far as unmarried men, in the mortality rates and things like that. So you could go and do, the air quote right thing, the righteous thing, and go and get married. If it doesn't go well, you're back into that pool of despair. So go and get married to save your life. That's what the fucking message is. Go and get married to save your life. Because who am I to argue with statistics? Who am I?
Do not listen to these men that tell you women have nothing to offer you, that they bring nothing to the table, that they bring no value. There's a reason why they sound so angry and hurt when they get to talking about women on those podcasts. It's because they're lonely.
So let's go down the list since, red pill creators are so lonely and stuff like that. And just to be clear, I don't consider myself a red pill creator. I'm a part of the Manosphere, but I don't subscribe to everything red pill. Just in case you're new here. So these men are angry because they are lonely. Let's go down the list. So Donovan Sharp has a wife. Boom. Get that out of there. Kevin Samuels, didn't he die with an escort from what you're saying? He seems like he had company. So boom, just get that out of there. Myron is always fucking somebody off of his show. Boom, get that out of there. Fresh is over here falling for sugar baby scams and just falling in love with whores and stuff like that. Boom, get that out of here. And having threesomes with fucking NBA players and shit like that. The NBA players are setting up. So boom, get that out of here. Cooley from No Fugazi just got all types of scrutiny for having a single mother as his girl. So boom, get him out of here. Shusha Zed, whose videos I watch a lot, he's married. Boom, get him out of here. And when you get to creators that don't have girls, I'm just gonna name two. You got somebody like Andrew Tate. Do you think Andrew Tate is lonely? Do you think he's upset because he's lonely? And then you got somebody like Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, who you always see at social events. His channel started off with him having girls standing next to him, debating all of this stuff, and they had healthy conversations and stuff like that. He's still around his homies and stuff like that. And even when it comes to YouTubers, he more than likely smashed a couple YouTube females and stuff like that, and they felt comfortable around him. They never said nothing negative about him. So it is easy. It's the easy way out to try and paint these individuals as hurt, angry, lonely, bitter men. But that's just not the case, y'all. You would love to say, these niggas don't get no ass. These niggas don't get no pussy. That's what you would love to say. That's what you would love to say. But you can't say that. You would love to say these men don't have no relationships. You've never seen them with no women. You would love to say that, but that's not the case. It's just not the case. So you lose. You lose. You absolutely fucking lose. That's a point you fucking lost on. Like, this whole video is bullshit, but that's a point you lost on. Now, see, this is the thing when we talk about this table shit, because she said, that women have no value. Women, they don't do anything. They don't bring nothing to the table. That's not the message. Because what happens after we ask a chick what she brings to the table and she fucking fumbles and she says some shit like love and understanding and some other bullshit? The reason that that's even a question in the first place, let's go here first. Reason it's a question in the first place is because these women demand so much out of man. And it is not a mystery what is expected of a man. And you get reminded every single day by these women that you were telling us to listen to and shit, that you ain't shit if you work a 9 to 5. You ain't shit if you use an umbrella. You are a 4, don't rate women. You ain't shit if you can't get a $300,000, $500,000 engagement ring. You ain't shit if you can't provide. If your girl got to pay any part of the rent, you're a roommate. That's what gets told to these men by women, the women that you say that niggas should listen to. So we clearly know what we are supposed to be doing as men based on what these women are saying. Some men are capable of doing all that, capable of just throwing their umbrellas away and paying all the fucking bills. We then ask these same women, well, for that man that you say, he don't work a 9 to 5 and he don't use umbrellas, what are you going to do for him? They have no fucking clue. They don't know what value they give to a man. They don't know what value to bring to a man outside of their coochie. And this is just a fact. So it's not me sitting here trying to say that women as a whole are worth nothing. That's not what it is. You don't even know what value you bring to a man. And if you start to say this shit, it's going to be some bullshit. And the reason that you want to know why that is because y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a fuck. Nobody thinks that women are worthless and worth nothing. Because when people ask that question, what do you bring to the table? A lot of times, men will say you failed the test and then go down a list of shit that men typically want, like submission, compliance, support. And we could just stop there. But then when a guy says something like, ooh, I like a chick that could cook or something like that, or you can't cook, y'all have so much pushback to simple shit like that. The same women that she is saying that we need to listen to will get on podcasts and say these niggas want a chick who can cook and clean, and they say they want traditional women, and then they go and say wildly stupid shit like, well, traditional men built houses. These women know in their mind, body, soul, and spirit that they don't want a nigga that can build a house from scratch. They have never seeked that out. That has never made their coochie wet. That is not a necessity. That is not something that they require or desire, a man that can build a house. But just to counter the talking point that a woman should be able to make a simple meal, because it gets under their skin that they have to do anything for a man. That's the way that, air quote, modern women are set up. Just hearing that they have to do anything for a man and bring any value upsets them. So they have to make a counterpoint, and they don't put any thought into that counterpoint. So they say that the nigga needs to be fucking the lumberjack off the bounty shit. He got to be fucking shit. I don't remember the famous lumberjack's name, the giant one, and I'm not about to Google it, but yeah, like Paul Bunyan. The nigga got to be Paul Bunyan. Yeah. So it's like, it's not that women don't bring no value. Like, we know, most of us know what value a woman can bring outside of her coochie. On a lot of these podcasts, dudes will give you the cheat code. They will actually say it after having one of these conversations. And guess what? No women ever retain any of the answers. The only answer they retain is be a man's piece. But even then, when it comes time to say it, they don't say it. They don't say it. And listen, we get upset when we're told that we should be paying all of the bills and that you should be doing nothing. You shouldn't be paying nothing, and that you don't have to do anything to be with a man because you just you. That's what upsets us. That's a reasonable thing to be upset about. So you're basically paying for nothing. You're basically paying for, but on the other end of the spectrum, just a meal. Just making some biscuits and gravy. That shit upsets y'all so fucking much. Just hearing that you got to make a simple fucking meal. So it's not that women is not worth nothing. It's not no shit like that. We not kicking that message. I don't believe that. I absolutely think the women have a lot of value if they do the right shit.
What is the stat? What are the facts? They'll tell you that women only want you for your money. No, women only want them for their money, because obviously if you listen to how they speak about women, money is all they have to offer women. They cannot offer a pleasant personality. They cannot offer love and respect. They can literally only offer women money. So women will only use them for their money. If you are a good man that treats women with respect, they won't care about how much money you have. I can tell you right now, women get with bums every single day.
And see, this is the last part of her clip that I'm going to respond to, because I don't even remember what she said after all that shit. But this part just shows how tone deaf, like how unaware she is of not just the male experience, but how women actually are. And that is exactly why we don't listen to you motherfuckers. When it comes to dating, you got some people who get into the red pill space, as far as like women that dudes call grifters, because they start to get the red pill knowledge and they start kicking it to men. Those women are not the women I'm talking about. Let's get this money point out the way. You know that I am like the biggest broke man advocate on YouTube. Like, I might have 5K subscribers, but nobody is kicking the broke dudes get bitches narrative more than me. Like, I can't even, bruh, these dudes is telling you that you gotta have 6 figures and stuff like that. I came on YouTube to give you guys that gospel right there. Like, you don't need a bunch of money to get babes. Like, it's just a fact. Because like she said at the end, it's a lot of dudes that are bums that are getting mad coochie every day. Now, I understand that when I say that, y'all be like, well, you can't get a 10, you can't da-da-da-da-da. Man, let me tell you something, man. Whatever y'all think the bar is, like the 8 Ferraris, y'all think y'all got to be having a fucking dime. Let me tell you, man, I just seen Oh my God, this chick, if she is not a 10, she's a 9, bro. If she is not a 10, she is a 9. Guaranteed. Bad bitch fucking niggas that really ain't got, like, they not no ballers, bro. The niggas she fucking ain't no fucking ballers, bro. I seen it. I seen it. And if I was able to show you this bitch just across the board, bro, y'all gonna be, oh yeah, she that. She that. And the guys that she fucking is not no high tier money getting niggas. It's just not that, bro. And y'all want to keep convincing yourselves that y'all just need, oh man, if I just get the money, it's gonna, no, that's not the case. So we done with that. Like, as far as her saying, like, the dude saying, oh, you need money and stuff like that, whatever. Now, we begin to talk about relationships and shit like that. Money does play a part on some long-term shit, on some we're going to cohabitate together shit. That's when it begins to play in with everything. That's when, and this is not me just making shit up. This is not me just talking. Not even just women, men. Everybody knows a man is supposed to provide. And the women that she is telling us to listen to, she's black. She's a black woman. Black women kick the 50-50 narrative, and they also kick the selective femininity narrative to where you got to be providing to get their femininity and submission. They kick that, right? They even kick the, like, you know, if you work in a 9 to 5, I can't fuck with you. I've seen white women kick it. I've seen white women kick it. I put one on the channel from Barstool Sports in one of the 9 to 5 videos I did in the past few weeks. So you can go and check that out. But what providing actually is to a woman is you matching her income, number one, or surpassing her income, number two. And also, number three, taking care of the responsibilities financially so she doesn't have to. Women will say shit. They will say disingenuous shit when they're trying to have their podcast run. And they will say, you don't need to provide with money. You could provide care, and you could women in reality don't give a fuck about that shit as much as they care about not being stressed out having to pay bills. So that's real. So again, those are two different when we talk about broke dudes, I'm talking about dudes slaying chicks, smashing them, all that. And even then, some of them be getting bread out of them and stuff like that, leeching and mooching. It is what it is. But when we talk about doing something long term, money is going to be an issue at some point. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be a point of contention. So just to recap the money points, yes, broke dudes get babes on the front end. When it comes to relationships, you're going to need to have money. And the thing is, when it comes to women's actions, they reinforce the bump shit. So she was right about that to a certain extent. But when it comes to their mouth and also their actions, they also reinforce that they do want men for their money. So this is not a point that is made up by men and only men are pushing this. I just put chicks on the screen saying they wouldn't date a 9 to 5 guy unless he was a CEO. So there are a lot of black women, but just women in general. It doesn't stop at black women because they have spread this shit throughout the ethos. And even then, just being honest, white women want men with money too. Like everybody in America, everybody all over the planet wants men with money. It is what it is. To some extent, that's just real. That's me being real. And I'm not saying it makes a coochie wet, but I'm saying that it would, give them a lot of convenience. So they will leverage their coochie to get some money out of a guy or get, a guy with some money. So even women are pumping that narrative. So the whole they're saying, oh, women only want you for your money. Women do want men for their money. A lot of women have expressed that they want men for their money. So let's not act like this is some shit that guys made up and they're pushing as women hatred. Let's not do that. And now we get to the last layer of bullshit as far as why men don't listen to women, and the woman on the screen isn't even worth listening to. She mentions that these guys don't have a pleasant personality, respect, nor love. when it comes to these women only wanting them for their money. So they can't offer a pleasant personality, respect, or love. She also says some magical words. Oh my goodness. She said, if you were a good guy and you respect her, she's not going to care about what you have. It's like, fuck the red pill shit. Like, I'm talking about, nigga, in the 80s, in the 70s, like the nice guy versus the jerk shit been going on. Like, motherfucker, since probably the 30s for real. Like, why do women like jerks? Why do women like assholes? She's talking about respect. Respect and being a good guy, air quote, good guy. Let me just get this out the way. Let me get 3 things out the way real quick. Number 1, women don't care about love from a nigga that they don't like. If you are a guy that she does not like, she does not give a fuck about your love or anything that you're trying to do for her. She is not going to reciprocate that. So let's just get that out of the way. We could just say, oh, if she's not attracted to you or whatever, if she don't fuck with you, your love doesn't matter at all. At all. The second thing, respect, is just something that everybody is supposed to give everybody. That's how that shit works. It's how it works. Like, respect is not something that gains attraction at all. Let's just get that out the way. And the other thing is, being a good guy gets you fucking nothing. And it's not about you gotta be an asshole or anything like that. Because that could also not get you nothing. But the thing about that, at least, is it's spicy. It feeds into their need for chaos. But we're not gonna get into that shit that deep. We're not gonna go that deep today. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not a guy who is an advocate for leading with money. You could tell that from all of the previous stuff I said in the last segment. But I'm going to tell you something, man. Money is going to get you that coochie before respect do, before being a good guy does, and before having a, air quote, pleasant personality, a pleasant personality. She is telling you that being a decent human being is going to get you the butt. Being a decent human being is cool. It's just being a decent human being. It has nothing to do with attraction. Why do you think that there are so many educated black women fucking with thugs? Why do you think that when we look at white girls and serial killers and stuff like that, they go right into serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer? That fucking Dahmer series just dropped. He's been dead for like 30 years. He's been dead for a long fucking time. And chicks was sexually aroused by the Dahmer fucking Netflix joint that dropped. And they became, a whole different generation became fascinated with him. And he was fucking gay. He was fucking gay, but they still were attracted to that shit. Why do these chicks be writing these serial killers and killers and stuff like that in prison? Why do chicks in the hood become pen pals to street dudes that's in the fucking state or the feds? This is the thing about this, man. Hybristophilia is a woman thing. That's a woman thing. We deep in the video. I'll say it. Rap fantasies. SA fantasies. RAPE. That's a woman thing. That's a woman thing. But the motherfucker who only had a quarter of her face on the fucking screen is not going to tell you none of that shit. She is not going to keep it a bean. She is not going to say, listen, where I live, drug dealers get the most pussy. Niggas is slaying other niggas is getting the most pussy. Niggas who is shooting shit up is getting the most pussy. Fucking drug dealers and scammers getting the most pussy. Niggas who don't fucking respect women is getting the most from women where I live. She not gonna say that. I don't gotta know what city or state she live in, what her neighborhood is, or none of that shit. I don't give a fuck if she moved out and got a fucking condo. I don't even care if she is from the suburbs, bruh. I doubt it. And if I'm wrong as far as her being from the suburb. But if she from any type of urban area that got this type of action going on, that's what it is. She not gonna get on here and keep it a G with you. This be the thing, man. I be telling y'all, like, a chick will tell you that she's celibate, why she got a dick in her, man. I've seen this in real life several times, and I'm not talking about the dick insider, but I'm talking about a dude is actively piping her. Like, we find out, or we already knew, and it's like, but you just said you was, some chicks didn't even call other chicks out in front of me. Like, bitch, don't do that. That's what the other chick would say, like, bitch, don't. And put her out there in front of me. And I say that to say, she is saying like this pleasant personality. Did your last dude have a pleasant personality? Was he highly respectful? I don't know. I'm just asking. Because this be the thing, like chicks will get on here and say this shit, but they last dude was a piece of shit. And the dude before that was a piece of shit. And the dude before that was a piece of shit. And the dude that she was having a situationship with was a piece of shit. Hey, you listening to this, the guy, Mr. Lonely Guy who, oh, you're just such a lonely, angry guy, right? You're such a lonely, angry guy. Ooh. I hope y'all can pick up the sarcasm. But think about the chicks you know in your life. Think about some of the baddest bitches you know. Have you seen them put through it by a guy? Have you seen them motherfucking go through it by a guy? Let me tell you some shit I seen, man. And I try to keep like personal shit, but bruh, I seen a chick break up with a dude who everybody knew had motion. She knew this dude had motion, meaning he was getting a lot of girls. And I've seen this actually happen multiple times with multiple people, but she get into dude phone and start trying to expose multiple chicks that he is messing with and stuff like that. Now, this is the question that I have for you. Do you think that that was his first time cheating? No. I'm sure that he was cheating before this relationship. Do you think that she was aware that he was a cheater? It's possible. We could go 50-50 on that. I'll give you one last one. Do you think that stopped him from getting any coochie in the future? Absolutely the fuck not. Chicks are still fucking frisbee in the coochie at buddy, and anybody that is in that position, they still don't have no problem getting chicks yet. These are the bad guys. These are the guys who don't necessarily respect women. And these are the guys who, hey, he might even respect women, but when we talk about love, can you really love somebody you cheat on and shit? You know. But that said, I don't want to beat a dead horse because we about 40 minutes in and we ain't even get to the second clip. You get the point, man. She is just wrong all over the place, and it's a big pile of steamy bullshit.
Can't get off this subject. I gotta ask you a question. Are you in love with your wife? No, me either. What? I don't believe in that shit anyway. It's okay. It's overrated. No, listen, then why? Listen, okay. See, you gotta explain that to me now. I had a feeling. No, I'm not in love with my wife. Why? I don't even know her. What are you doing? Why? This is our 8th. Hold on, we got married in 2016. This is year number 8. September 8th, we'll be married 8 years. No. All my relationship with my wife is a relationship with myself. I'm just discovering parts of me, bro. Yeah. We're lying to ourselves so fucking much to hold up this story or this ideal, the fantasy without, as opposed to just dealing with what's there and accepting it to the best of your ability.
I understand this. Now, how do you get women to understand that? You get them to bow out of the fantasy.
You get them to, by you bowing out. And my wife thinks she's in love with me, probably. It's a buzzword. Yeah. It's a concept that's been propagated that we've adopted and creates an unrealistic expectation that we look for, and when it's not present, we feel something is wrong.
Yeah, we've allowed that to condition ourselves to.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Don't mind the screen. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. The reason I'm good at content creation is because I've seen a lot of content and I have very good discernment. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been sitting on that for probably about a month, that clip. I've been sitting on it for probably about a month. And the reason I haven't reacted to it is because I can't find the source. And there's a part of me that thinks it's so ridiculous because I've never heard anybody say anything like that. That it could possibly be either a parody or it could be from some TV show and they just like, it's supposed to be a comedy show or something like that. It could be from something like that, but it's possible as well that that is real. So it's hard for me to weigh in on it and give it to you like it's 100% real because I can't find the source. But even just now, I went back to dig deeper to see if I could find the source. Couldn't find the source for nothing. If I find the full source, I react to it. But listen, I'm not co-signing nothing they said or nothing like that. But I'm willing to guess those men right there are not a part of whatever statistics she mentioned. Because they don't sound happy. They don't sound happy. So I'm going to leave y'all with one more clip. And this is just to put a cherry on top as far as, oh, y'all need to listen to women. This is the type of stuff women is putting out there. I'll see y'all, man.
Women into femme fatales. My page is not for good girls. Unless you want to be a good girl going bad. Listen, my page is for women who want to have a high quality life, want to get whatever they want and when they want it. Okay, they want men to improve their lives. They want men to give them things. They don't want to just give themselves freely. Okay, my page, I turn you into a femme fatale. You know that lady in the Bond movie? That's at the bar, sexy as hell? Okay, she's confident. She shows her personality. She don't care if them men don't like it. I'm who I am. She gets what she wants out of relationships and out of life. She's unapologetic. She'll set a boundary. She's no I'm not playing with you. You can't talk to me any old kind of way. Oh, you coming into my life with you trying to treat me a certain way? You trying to lower me? Bye. My page is for femme fatales. Take no prisoners. Listen, if you come into my life and you're not elevating me, you gone. I teach good girls how to stop being doormats. How to stop being people pleasers. Okay, if you're a good girl and you're sick of getting the bare minimum, welcome. Welcome to the party. Welcome.
See, women ain't even telling women to be good women, but you got this chick with only, again, 1/4 of her face on a fucking screen telling you that having a pleasant personality and being a good guy and being respectful is a way to get bitches. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Women not even telling each other to be good women. Get the fuck out of here.